Hey, everybody! Hello! Happy Wednesday. I hesitated because I was like, what day is it today? Happy Wednesday, everybody! I swear, I've been doing
Real
Wednesday
quick.
things
Oh, yeah,
today.
okay, we are. Something was weird on my end. I was like, I'm not seeing me. I just refreshed it. It was fine. So ignore
Oh,
me. Ignore, even though it's a
great,
Q&A, just ignore me.
great, fantastic. Hello, welcome to Chatting with Doug. Thank you so much for this level 3 hype train that we have chugging along. Appreciate it. Y'all are amazing and awesome. Genuinely, I know we say that every time we start with a hype train, but it's because I don't expect it, okay?
It's so nice.
I don't
That's
expect
so
it.
nice.
So every time, I'm
you.
like shocked every time. I'm like, oh my god, another hype train for us? No.
Nice.
That's amazing. Thank you. So let's get to some of the rules so that we can get to your questions. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, we may have time for highlighted questions, but please save your highlighting for the end of stream because if you highlight it now, I cannot scroll up and read it. Also, highlighting a question or comment does not guarantee that we are going to read it or see it. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. That kind of applies to bit messages as well. We have a list. It is very rare that we miss it. The more likely scenario is that we are 45 minutes to an hour behind. So be patient. We will get to it. Obviously, we have been live for 7 minutes and haven't even started asking the questions. We just get behind. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it and the less likely we are to have the point and then we can't repeat it anyway. Short and to the point is better. That also kind of applies to part messages as well. Please, if you have to do multi-part questions, limit it to like a 3 maximum. Again, we just kind of lose the point if you're going on for like 7 to 10 parts of a question or comment or whatever. No spoilers. I knew I forgot something. No spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see the latest and greatest thing that's out. That includes spoilers for Ahsoka. So please, no Ahsoka spoilers, okay, chat? That includes in chat, too, because I do feel like sometimes people are surprised when they get timed out when they're saying the spoilers in chat, because they're like, oh, well, you're not going to read it. It doesn't matter. Someone else who's in chat will read it. And that's the point, okay? Okay, great. Awesome. Oh, maybe check to see if someone else has asked the question that you've already asked. You won't get in trouble for that one. It's just that we feel bad if you're the third person to ask Doug what a clue for next week's NC, and we just have to give you the table scraps. So just maybe check that out. Okay? Great? Fantastic. Amazing. We just got to level 4 of this hype train. Chat. Chugga, chew, motherfucking chew. All right, Oiram. Excuse me, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you thought about reviewing Bruce Almighty? I heard you make a jab at it once. I know there are quite a few people who like that movie. Some even say Morgan Freeman was the perfect choice to play God.
I mean, it's good casting. But yeah, I didn't like that movie. Maybe be interesting to talk about. I don't know. That's one I see kind of get a lot of maybe because what was the sequel? Evan Almighty.
Oh yeah, I forgot that
because
one.
that came out, more people kind of beat up on that, so like Bruce Almighty looks better. But I remember not a lot of people liking Bruce Almighty.
I really liked Bruce Almighty, but I think I was a good age for it to feel like baby's first philosophy thing. So I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's like going in, I'm like, all right, we already know what the lesson's gonna be. Just give me some good laughs. And like the laughs were really, a lot of them were just kind of awkward, I remember. Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, I don't think watching it again is gonna make me like it more. We'll see. Maybe I'll get to it at some point.
That Disney Nerd, thank you so much for the 41-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Hello, Doug Reed. How are you and our beautiful Twitch queen doing? Also, 41 months. Yay, I guess.
Congrats. We are doing good. All right,
Yes.
doing good, anyway.
Yes, sorry. Oiram, thank you for the 7-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Connor Davenport, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you have any major critiques with Spectacular Spider-Man? I adore the show, but I know there's no such thing as a perfect series. Your constructive feedback on it would be quite insightful.
Well, I got Disney December of it coming out. I guess the two kind of major things is that I give it credit for trying to create its own style so that when you see it, you know that's that show. It's Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't know if it matched very well, particularly the big pupils. I don't know. Sometimes they got so big it looked like there were just big holes in their eyes. It kind of looked like The Critic. It looked like the show The Critic, which is weird for Spider-Man. And then the excuse me. I don't know if this is both kind of a pro and a con with the actual superhero stuff. They throw so much at you, throw so much villain stuff and story and everything. And as a kid, I love that. But as an adult, it's like I kind of like the more Batman animated series route where they take it a little slower. But I know as a kid, I would love that.
Connor Davenport, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, what are your thoughts on The Masked Singer? For me, it's my cheesy reality show guilty pleasure.
I get that. I've never seen it. It didn't really look like my thing. But I get that. Mine was Hell's Kitchen was the one that I watched and really got into. I will say this. I like reality shows that are more like game shows. I think those are more fun. Again, not that I watch a lot of them, but one where it's just following a person around. It's like, wow, we're following them around. That's usually very boring to me.
Bernsey, thank you for the 100 bits. Heading to dinner that I'm going to enjoy streaming Castle, but later tonight I'll watch your Liar Liar movie.
Thank you so much. Well, review, but I didn't make the movie. Very talented people made that movie, so clearly I would not be involved in that.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, One Piece thoughts?
I love it. I'm only on episode 3. I'm about like a third through episode 3, but I'm just loving the shit out of it, especially the kid they got to play the main character. That could so easily go wrong. I could just see that role, so especially in live action, just not work if they didn't get the right kid. And that kid is just so charming and so funny, and I just love watching his reactions to everything. And he's so optimistic, and he's so dim-witted, but he's like so lovable and charming and everything. And yeah, the world is awesome. I love worlds where they're just like, yeah, let's just do whatever we want. Well, why does there have to be like so many rules, or why does there have to be a past history? Like, it's good to have like some limitations, but I really like a show or a movie that's just like, well, I just do whatever I like, kind of thing. And that show just has that feel. So yeah, who would have thought that'd be the one that translate best so far to live action? You think that'd be the most difficult? But I will say, I'm only on episode 3. I haven't got through the whole thing, but I'd be shocked if suddenly it went downhill, just after 3 episodes.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I know you're not in much of a hurry to finish Only Murders in the Building, Doug, but I highly recommend you at least watch Steve Martin singing an original Patter song titled Which of the Pickwick Triplets Did It? The clip is on YouTube, and it's honestly pretty remarkable.
It's funny because I do get screeners and recommendations for stuff. They do send me like screeners for that. And again, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have time. But they just sent me one just for that clip. Because when you were saying that, I'm like, that I don't think it was to necessarily like review it, but they were just saying like, hey, take a look at this, if you want to share this or something. And so when you started saying that, I'm like, oh, I know it's going to be this song that has this very odd title, right? Yeah, and it kind of said the same thing, like you kind of got to see it to believe it. So I'll at least check that out, because that really has my interest peaked.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on La La Land and Moonlight, and which do you prefer?
Well, we know which one the Oscars prefer, or do we? I never did see Moonlight. I need to. It's one of those I always have it like on the queue, on the list. But I hear it's really depressing, so yeah. I'm always like, yeah, let me get up the nerve to why Blue Velvet's another one I heard is just a super, super downer, and I'm always like, yeah, it's on the list, but I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. La La Land I liked. I didn't love, but I get why other people love it. I get the attraction to it, and the technical achievement is great, and the story's there, and the character and the songs and everything. Yeah, I think because it is a throwback to the classic, like, what do they call it? Like the Singing in the Rain musicals and the, I mean, is it just
Yeah.
Hollywood musicals? Is that what they're
Yeah.
called? Or
Yeah,
Golden
I
Age
guess so.
musicals and stuff? And again, those are amazing achievements. They're good films. Those just aren't the musicals I get into. I get into kind of like the big epic, like operas. I get into people like bearing their soul while singing. So, that's why I like some of the more dramatic like Disney musicals and stuff like that. Ones where people just think about what a happy day they have. Cool, great. I get the charm of that. It's just not my thing as
Yeah.
much, but it has some depth to it. It was definitely a good movie.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Whether intentional or not, what is your favorite suggestive moment in Disney's Robin Hood? For me, it's when Prince John says, "Not so hard, you mean thing."
That's pretty funny. I'm trying to think of the one where I just got the biggest laugh. God, I don't know. They're all so funny. I guess the one that's coming to my head is the just the one scene where like he's dressed up as one of the guards. He's singing him to sleep. He just says, "Let me loosen that belt." And I'm just like, I mean, he just said it. And then they have the animation of it. You kind of like hear like a wow wow music playing while he does it. It's just like, I don't know. That even back then, it's like how were they thinking something else there when that was going on? Or maybe they were. Like I said, maybe it was all intentional.
Stillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Worst Michael Bay film, Transformers 2 or Transformers 4?
Trying to remember which one 4 was. Is that the dinosaur one? I think. I mean, maybe that one because I have a hard time remembering. I mean, 2's bad, but I do remember it. I guess I'll say 4, but I haven't seen them since they came out.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. How would you rank all 4 seasons of Harley Quinn?
I really like this last one a lot. That
Me
probably
too.
be number one. After that, I don't know. Maybe well, do I say 3-1-2? Maybe I don't know. I can't think of like a bad season I've seen. I guess I'll go with that.
That's Disney Nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. Were either of you given hilarious or embarrassing nicknames when you were younger? My older sister used to call me her little lammy whammy chop chop love muffin. Lol.
I mean, I had obviously the do. That was a big thing growing up with kids and stuff like that. But in terms of like cute little names, I don't know. I remember my grandma used to, I don't know, I had a big thing. My grandma used to call me Pumpkin. I was just say, "Hey, stop it. I don't want to be called that. I'm a big boy. I'm a blah." I think boys have that thing when they're called cute names. They're like, stop it. So I rejected that pretty early.
I have a quick funny one. For a little while when I was in grade school, my friends used to call me Rafiki Butt. Because I had a red coat that had a blue, not like a blue cutout, like a blue triangle, right? Where my bottom was. And they were like, Rafiki Butt, Heather's now Rafiki Butt. And I'm like, oh, all right. Great, cool. Thanks, guys.
For a second, I really thought you were going to say, because I had a red butt.
No, and the funny thing is, like, even me as like a third grader, I was like, guys, stop, that's embarrassing. And also you're wrong. My coat is red with a blue butt. Rafiki's butt isn't blue.
You have to correct. I'm sure that stopped him right in their tracks.
Right, yes. Third graders definitely thought that through and were like, you're right, Heather, dang. Porcupines Are God, thank you for the 100 bits. 1 week late on this, but did you know that Monty Python's FC had a sketch called The Mouse Problem with John Cleese interviewed about his experience in the mouse lifestyle. Clearly commentary on how gay people were treated at the time and not furries, but it's one of those strange satire predating reality moments.
It's funny because I did see that sketch. I didn't connect it to, that's what it was at the time. I think Rob told me later, he's like, yeah, no, there were actually a lot of interviews at the time, I was like, oh, and now you're right. It can kind of be about that too. 'Cause they even talk about like getting in mouse costumes and stuff like that. So, yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Kenneth Branagh's A Haunting in Venice? And if so, what are your thoughts? In my opinion, it's his best Agatha Christie adaptation yet.
That's what I hear. I hear it's better than the other two. I didn't see the last one, Death on the Nile, but I saw Murder on the Orient Express, and I liked it. So I hear this one's better. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I might see it this weekend. I'll probably do a Disney December too, because it's technically Disney.
Spooky Elephant, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Mr. Chaplin's dad, since last we spoke, did you listen to the lyrics of We Didn't Start the Fire and look up what an okapi is?
I did not do either.
Great.
I was very tired, but I will try to do it for you.
Pet Projects, thank you for the 100 bits. I liked your Robin Hood review last week. A furry crush I had as a kid was Cleo from the Cadillac Cats. I wanted to ask if you remember that series from the 80s. They were part of the Heathcliff show.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I remember like the sort of Junkyard Cats from Heathcliff. I wonder, maybe I'm just remembering the name wrong. And then when you said that, I'm like, oh, I do remember kind of like an '80s lady cat. She had like the '80s socks and stuff like that. So I bet that's what you're talking about. I loved that show when I was a kid. It's always one of those where I'm like, I don't know how well it would age. If I would like it as much now, but I should give another watch at some point. Brad really likes Heathcliff a lot too. He grew up loving that show.
Demonaires, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, what did you think of the series finale of Seinfeld?
Same thing everybody thought. There's an idea in there. It just wasn't done right. And I feel bad because I feel like there's like 3 other episodes in the series that could have been better season finales. I was always kind of like, oh, it could just stop here, kind of thing. Like when they finally get on TV and everybody's watching it, I thought that would have been a good spot to stop. But yeah, I guess that's the mark of a great show, right? It has to have a terrible finale.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite comic book / superhero film of all time that isn't Batman?
Might be Across the Spider-Verse, actually. Or no. I mean, if we're not including Batman movies at all, I'm assuming it doesn't mean The Dark Knight.
Either. Right.
Yeah, it might be Across the Spider-Verse. That might be it.
That's fair. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Matthew Broderick movie / performance would you prefer, Inspector Gadget or Deck the Halls?
Ugh, they're both awful. Maybe Deck the Halls just because it's a Christmas movie. It's like, okay, that can help me get through it a little bit. Inspector Gadget, I don't remember there being like anything good in it.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the film Manchester by the Sea?
Man, that sounds familiar. I don't think I saw it. Home by the Sea. Oh yeah, I got Manchester. Yeah, that was exactly what I typed. Thank you. Manchester by the Sea. There we go. Yeah, I don't think I saw this movie. I heard it's good, but I sadly have not seen it. I will try to check it out at some point.
Framizer, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug, with October just around the corner, what can we expect for Nostalgia-ween?
Okay, what am I writing right now? Oh, some animated classics that I think people like probably younger than me grew up with, which will be nice. I don't know. It's always fun when you kind of see these films that you go, ooh, like, this is going to be a new classic. And then like years go by and you see it pop up more and more and you see people growing up with it. It's just like, yes, like that. You're right. That was the one you were supposed to watch, like, and they're like, yeah. So definitely a lot of like anime movies about like, kids talking to creepy shit, pretty much. I guess it's not too specific, but it's very Halloweenish.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, at some point, would you please make a compilation video reviewing the Cartoon Saloon movies? They, and especially Wolfwalkers, need more love and attention.
Yeah, I got that on the list somewhere, the movie compilation. Boy, they haven't been doing good, though. The Pee-wee one really did not do great at all. So we'll see. If I do it, maybe I'll do it around, like, January when, like, kind of nobody's, putting ads on anything anyway, and I can be a little bit more experimental.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I recently watched a movie called The Freshman, which starred Marlon Brando spoofing his Godfather role. It also features, in my opinion, one of Matthew Broderick's better performances. Have you seen it? And if so, your thoughts?
No, because I did hear that. I heard it was bad. I heard that Brando was just doing a spoof and it was kind of dumb and stuff like that. But I remember hearing Broderick was fine in it. I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to see it because it had like what are they called? Like the little dragon lizards. I'm blanking on the name. A Komodo dragon? Is that what
Oh,
they're
yeah,
called?
Komodo dragon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the first time I've ever heard like dragon connected to an actual living thing. So as a little kid, I'm just like, there's a dragon, an actual dragon. Well, I want to see an actual dragon. No, this movie, I really got to see this movie. And they're like, Doug, you have no idea why this is supposed to be funny. It's a bad movie anyway. Everyone's saying it's bad. I'm like, but I want to see a dragon. It's just like a big lizard. Like that's it. But yeah, maybe I will see it just to see my goddamn dragon.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we get a nostalgia critic intro into these chats? You don't really use them outside of the reviews anyway. I mean, part of the issue with that, at least on my end, technically, is trying to figure out how to separate audio sources, because that would mean Doug would have to be completely quiet, and I'd have to think about how we could integrate that and separate like audio sources so that it could play while we weren't on stream. It's a little bit of a headache.
Well, and yeah, what the animation as somebody worked his ass off to give you isn't enough for you? Is that it? So yeah, that's kind of like, in my opinion, kind of the intro, the animation, me just waiting by the bus stop.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. What's a film that puts you in the best mood possible?
Man, like it has to be something that just like I grew up with and just makes me laugh. So, something like Robin Hood. It's so light, but it's so funny and has its own charm to it. Something like something that has a lot of like its own unique energy. I don't know. Right now, I'm just saying Robin Hood, so I guess I'll just go with that. I know there's a ton of other films, but yeah, that's one for some reason that's really jumping out at me.
Honest reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. Sup, Doug and Heather. Sorry, I won't be able to stay on stream because you see, I sped. I followed too closely. I ran a stop sign. I almost hit a Chevy. I sped some more. I failed to yield at a crosswalk. I changed lanes at the intersection. I changed lanes without signaling while running a red light and speeding. Is that all? No, I have unpaid parking tickets.
Be gentle.
Demon Airs, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, could we get a hint for next week's NC?
It has the line, "I'm Batman" in it.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue for next week's NC review, please?
It has the line, "I'm Batman" in it.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means. Chatting with Doug time. Hello, Heather and Doug.
It has the line, "I'm Batman" in it. No. Hi.
Hello. Porcupines Are God, thank you for the 100 bits, was rewatching Secret of Nim and realized how few mother protagonists there are in animated films, probably because they're usually dead. Can you think of any others?
I feel like
there's an argument for the Mrs. Incredible to be like a lead of The Incredibles, a protagonist for that.
Yeah, I guess, man, yeah, when you say like a lead, like in a family movie, yeah, I guess it is kind of rare the more I think about it. There's some where it's like a runner-up, like in Brave, the mother plays a big part in there, but is that the lead? Is like probably not the lead. Yeah, I don't know. I guess not that many. That's one of the reasons I guess it makes it so unique. But yeah, also a reason we probably need more.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, thoughts on the latest Ahsoka episode? Without spoilers. Don't worry, chat. No spoilers.
I'm liking this show. Whatever problems it has, they're not major ones, in my opinion. And I really like, was it Dave Filoni, is that his name?
Yeah.
I really like he knows the difference between telling an animated story and a live action story. They do go at different paces. You do, sort of accept information in a different way. I like he focuses on the reactions to people, the little expressions and stuff like that. Yeah, again, without giving away too much, the appearance of a certain character in this episode, I already like better than in the other version that we got
Mm,
before. There is something I think that helps about that character being live action, and because I was a little let down by that character in anime, for like not horrified or anything, but I mean like, oh, I'm missing something here, and I feel like something about the way this character is portrayed in live action, I think is working better, and I'm more excited for this character now.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Australia 2008? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No, I heard it's bad. I heard it's very, very bad, but I have not seen it.
Demon Airs, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, what's your favorite episode of Futurama?
Um, I really like the one where Bender's a god. The little asteroid hits him, and he has to look after these little creatures on it. That one's pretty great. I do like what was originally the last one, with Fry and Leela sort of getting stuck in this frozen time, and they spend the rest of their lives together. I really like that one. Um, And then I'm always the sucker for the ones where Richard Nixon just watches cartoons and then they just make fun of like old 80s and 90s cartoons. And the best one is that they'd have a clip from the show and then would cut to commercial. It'd be a commercial for what you just saw them introduce, because that's exactly how those 80s cartoons worked. I thought that was so clever.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you had a chance to watch Nimona yet? It's still a top 3 animated film of the year, in my opinion.
I started it. I didn't get a chance to finish it because that was during the brain fog and stuff. So I started to watch it, and then like the brain fog was just way too deep, and I couldn't focus. And I'm like, okay, this is a very like kind of crazy, weird world, and I like it, but I need to focus if I'm gonna review it. So I stopped it. I'm gonna pick it up, and probably this weekend. I'll finish it.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 14-month subscription. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Appreciate that. Hiya, Doug. 14 months, baby.
Good to have you back.
Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I know you often cite the 1999 version of The Haunting as the worst remake ever. I don't know, man. Even I think that has more going for it than Lion King 2019.
Well, at the time I hated The Haunting more because not many people knew about the original movie or the original book. But now that Haunting a Hill House has come out, and those series are very well accepted, and a lot of people know them, it's not as bad. And now I think it's kind of like saying Batman Robin's the worst movie. Well, if that was the last Batman movie we got, yeah, you would think that. But now we've gotten so many other ones. It's like, okay, well, now it's just, look how pathetic that was and stuff. So I still hate it. But yeah, in terms of like what's worse, it's like, in many respects, Lion King probably is worse.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we get a clue for this year's Christmas review lineup?
Uh, I'll just give this one away. I don't care. I was telling my boss, I was telling him some of the stuff I was going to review, and I said Home Alone. And he said, which one? I said, the first one. He says, you haven't done that yet? I'm like, no, I've done every single other one except the first one. So I'm going like completely backwards. So that'll be fun to talk about because I love talking about that movie. And one of them I'm hoping will have a guest I've had on before, because it's a Christmas movie this person had a big part in making. So yeah, so hopefully, I mean, it looks like it's on. I mean, things can happen, but hopefully that still goes through.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, how's the progress on the Channel Awesome studio damage?
If I'm right, we should be able to go back this Tuesday. We're gonna try and actually film this Tuesday. So like I said, I have to double check. I haven't written the script yet. I gotta call up proper people and be like, okay, so we can do this, right? We can go back and everything. So yeah, it should, at the very least, it should be pretty damn soon.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Cruising 1980? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I don't think so. Let me see if it's ringing a bell. 1980, Al Pacino, Paul Sorvino, I mean, good people. Nah, yeah, weirdly, I've never. Has a lot of leather in it. I will. I guess I'll try to check it out. What the hell is this movie about?
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Can I share an unpopular opinion on Puss in Boots 2? I I like the movie. I love its characters, its theme, and the vibe. But why isn't Death funny? He's too serious.
Why so serious? I like that because I feel like all the humor then goes to like Jack Horner and like maybe a little bit to like Goldilocks and the Three Bears and stuff like that. I like each one kind of gets more and more funny, and then you go the other direction and kind of gets more and more serious. So I like that. I like there's a good range of villains, I should say, or antagonists that kind of have like different, very different types to them.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I had to make the toughest decision of my life today. I was doing a best animated film bracket, and the choices were Minions or Lion King 2019. I hate both of them.
I'll go with Lion King. Come on, Minions has like a few laughs in it, man. Well, I guess the Lion King 2019 kind of does too. During the big emotional moments, they actually turn out pretty funny. That little Simba going, no, is so pathetic when Mufasa's like falling. It's pretty funny.
Spooky Elephant, thank you for the 100 bits. Some people say they should have kept Elsa as a villain. Some say they should have given Elsa a girlfriend. I say they should have done both and have them be evil girl bosses together, Harley Quinn and Ivy style.
There you go. I'm glad they didn't go with her. I think the story is more interesting with her not being a villain. Then when you see the differences between the two sisters, how one is very, very closed off, and that can be a bad thing. But then the other wears her, heart on her sleeve and sort of gives it to the first person she meets. I mean, I really like that. And I feel like both of those are really relevant now in terms of like how people deal with like social media and stuff. They're either like, they either share too much, or they don't go outside that much. So it's almost like both. You can kind of relate to like not connecting with people, but then sharing too much like online. So I like that. I like that angle actually quite a bit.
Jag fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, your Wikipedia says you spent some of your childhood in Jacksonville, Florida. That's my hometown. What do you remember about it?
I remember it not happening. So we were, like I said, my dad was in the Navy. We did move around a lot. I do not remember that being one of the places we lived. I put it this way. If it was, we were not there very long, and I was like a baby. I'll double check with Rob. I'm 99% sure we did not live there. We visited there. No, we visited Disney World. Yeah, so...
That's not Jacksonville.
That is not Jacksonville, yeah. So
no, that's Orlando.
I don't know if I've ever been to Jacksonville, Florida. That might... Weird, something on Wikipedia not being true.
Hell of a Bluey, thank you for the 100 bits. NC on Men in Black International. And have you checked out Regular Show?
No, not yet. And it's funny because somebody gave me a DVD years ago, and because they said it's really good, I'm like, oh, I'll check it out at some point. And I still have that DVD to the point now where it's kind of pointless because it's all on Max now. But I have the DVD just to remind me to watch it someday, but I still haven't. And I might do Men in Black International. I've never seen it. Everyone says it's pretty bad, though.
Frameiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Since you're still playing God of War, here's one for you. Boy, 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 how do you like me? How do you like me?
Like, boy, 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 how do you like me? How do you like me? Maybe that's what they're doing. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hating that kid even more. Because he was fine before, but now that he's a god, it's kind of a little shit, isn't it? Yeah.
He has entered his dick era for sure.
Yes.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Get Walter Benaziac on the phone because I got a Disney Elseworlds fanscription for him. What if Lady Tremaine raised Cinderella? She's still the same character, but becomes an opportunist with grooming Cinderella. Give Cinderella a morality conflict with the spoils rather than a full-on spoiled brat.
I mean, are they talking about, like, from birth? Is that what they're... I mean, because, like, she does raise Cinderella, but, like, maybe they're talking about, like... There was
like actually treated
like,
her correctly.
Like one of the other sisters? Or
right.
Oh, okay. That is kind of a cool idea. She kind of becomes like a little sadistic too. And because she's clearly the smartest out of like the three sisters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. It's not a bad idea. I might bring that up to him. That's not a bad idea.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Haven't watched Liar Liar yet, but I really love the idea of not telling a lie for an entire day. What would you do if you couldn't lie for one day?
I would just lock myself away because I'm a massive liar. No. Um, I'll say this because in reality, I don't like to lie. So I do try to
Me
find
neither.
ways to, you know, leave stuff out or omit stuff or say something in a very, in a nicer way. I mean, good guy, you're a teacher, Heather. You know all about this. You know how, like, well, I can't tell kids this in this way. So I have to find like a nicer way to tell them and stuff
Right,
like
right. Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but he's a lawyer, where that's kind of the whole idea. I mean, that's why that's such a brilliant concept. A lawyer who can't lie.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What kind of games pique your interest? Do you follow any of the digital presentations like State of Play or Nintendo Direct?
Um, like every once in a while, I'll get like a little trailer on YouTube. I might click on that, but not a ton. I mean, I'm only like the past, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years, like really getting into like more modern games. I guess I'm kind of like Tamara's never seen in that respect with her with movies. I mean, it's kind of like me with games. So that's fun playing stuff like Arkham Asylum and God of War and stuff like that, and sort of discovering these stories for the first time and everything, and having a fun time playing it as well. So yeah, I don't know. I don't keep up with them very closely, but maybe as I play more, I will.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Gone with the Wind, 1938? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I like you guys say 1938. It's like, oh well, the remakes, of course, all the remakes. It's like there's only one. It's because that is one of those where it was built up so much that when I finally saw it, I'm like, oh, okay. And I kind of already knew all the scenes too, as well. So I think that movie was to me what like Citizen Kane is to a lot of other people. It's just so built up that when you see it, it's like, yeah, I can't quite live up to the hype. But it was interesting. I mean, by no means gonna say it's a bad movie or anything, but it's like it's interesting, and I think I find it more fascinating that that movie was as big as it was. It was like the biggest. May still be. I'm wondering if that's the movie itself. It's like the most people that like went to the theaters to see it, and I find it very interesting. But I mean, like it's good. I mean, everyone should see it. I mean, it's a film that's like, yes, this was like sort of the modern epic of the day, but yeah, it never grabbed me much. I never got that into it. Despite how big and epic a scale it is and everything, it never really grabbed me.
Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. Who has the more tainted filmography? Raja Gosnell or Brian Levant? Levant. I don't know what it is. Levant?
Yeah. Probably Gosnell. Brian Levant is like, it's weird because when his stuff doesn't work, I don't know, there's some creativity to it that I can kind of be like, okay, well, I see what you're trying to do there. It just didn't work. Raja Gosnell is just like a madman, like who just just found out what editing. Those YouTube videos where they just always zoom in and cut to something else, and someone's like, "What?" And then there's a sound effect and something good. Like he's the cinematic version of that. It's so obnoxious watching his movies. So yeah, not a particular fan of you, but I mean, I can at least say like Brian Levant did Beethoven. I liked Beethoven. I don't know if Raja Gosnell's ever done a movie I liked.
Max Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, sorry for missing some of the streams, but I was wondering if you ever thought of doing an NC for the 2 live-action Sonic films, mostly for Doug to continue his Jim Carrey kick.
I've talked about doing it, but I want to wait until like they're all out. I mean, they're gonna at least do a third one.
Yeah.
And because I feel like that makes the most sense to do, because I wasn't a huge fan of the first one, but then I really liked the second one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the third one, especially if they have Carrey in it or not. So yeah, no, when they're all like, at the very least, I'll wait for 3. If it looks like they're gonna stop there, I'll do it. But if it looks like, oh, maybe they'll do one more, like maybe I'll just do the 3 of them. I don't know. I need to wait at least for one more.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Darktoon's idea, Disney's Lorenzo. You mentioned it before on Disney December, but you didn't go that much in depth. That ending!
Yeah, that was pretty good. I might do that. I think I had that on the list. I haven't done a Dark Toons in a while. Part of it is, I got like the shingles thing and everything, but I also just haven't had like the drive for it recently. So we'll see. I feel like I always got like let a dry spell kind of happen, and then like just suddenly I'll be like, oh, I kind of want to do a few more of these. I'll probably do a few more, let a long time pass again. That seems to be the how it's working. But I don't know. Whenever I come back to it, they always seem to get a pretty big response, and that kind of dies out pretty quick. So maybe I'll just keep doing that.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Speaking of Bruce Almighty, here's a funny fun fact. One night, I ate too many pop brownies, and one of the movies I watched while I was messed up was Bruce Almighty.
Man, that scene where he holds out like the 9 fingers or whatever, that must have been pretty freaky.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. I want to recommend the oldest surviving animated film, Adventures of Prince Ahmed. It is done through shadow puppets. The film not only influenced Walt Disney, which is an homage to it with the wizard's duel in Sword in the Stone, but also how the story of the three brothers in Deathly Hallows was done.
I think I saw it years ago. It is very impressive to watch. It is really, really cool. I'd be lying if I said I remembered a ton about the story, but I definitely remember the style to it. And you're right, that scene in the Deathly Hallows is very much reminiscent of that. So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it, I mean, just for the artistry and the technique of how they do these shadow puppets, it's very, very cool.
J-Pith, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite adaptation of Dracula?
I hate to be so cliched. I think it's got to be the Bela Lugosi one. His performance is so good. And what's so sad is that I didn't grow up with it. I always kind of saw it everywhere. But I grew up with the Frankenstein movies by just sort of, oh yeah, Dracula, guy with a cape, blah, 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 like everybody does. And I don't know. I just kind of avoided it. And only maybe about 8 years ago did I finally see it. And I saw it on the big screen, too. It was around Halloween. There's a big screen showing of it, and he just like commanded that performance. I'm fascinated by people who can just like give you a look, and it's just like they just like grab you, they like hook you like just with their eyes. And I know it's what everyone always said about him, but I'm also like, yeah, but the movie's really old. I used to think the Frankenstein monster was scary, so this isn't scary, but like it works, and the movie really is still so well done, despite the fact that it does take liberties. So that's still, like I said, such a cliched answer, but I think that is my favorite one.
Demon Slayer, thank you for that subscription. Welcome. Appreciate that. Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. If you could make it so a film was never made, poof, gone forever, and you are the only one to know it ever existed, would you? And if yes, what would it be?
I don't know if I would. I can't think of a film that like it caused like mayhem. You know what I mean? I can certainly see films that people got upset about, but at the same time, I feel like people should get upset about films. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the reason why they exist. Yeah, I don't know. There's some outcomes of films I wish didn't happen. Like I heard after Clockwork Orange came out, like some kids like did go and kind of do those things, commit crimes and stuff like that. Like you hope something like that doesn't happen. I like to get rid of that, But in terms of like erasing a film from but that's still one of my favorite movies, Clockwork Orange. So I mean, like in terms of erasing a film from existence, I don't know, because how else do we learn from our troubles? Like if that film doesn't exist, another one will come along. That'll maybe be worse, and we'll learn from that one. So yeah, I don't know. How else do we learn our lessons?
Interesting. Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. I wanted to let you know about a 2-part video on YouTube called You're Not Loving Fantasia Enough by YouTuber There Will Be Fud.
Both interesting titles. I will try to check it out.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I have a horrible confession to make. Last night, during the movie score quiz, I was the one person who picked Johnny Depp for the first question. I read the question wrong and panic answered. I have to shame myself. It's okay. Listen, it's all for fun. It doesn't matter. We're just glad you're here.
I, on the other hand, am judging you very, very roughly right now. No, I put Alice of Wonderland as one of the answers. So, yeah, don't feel bad about that. I mean, I'm sure you at least know what the title of that book and movie is.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on binging? We live in a world spoiled with streaming services, complete with full seasons of TV shows. What kind of shows do you watch, and how many episodes do you watch per day?
I don't think I'm at the point now where I can do that. When I was an illustrator, I did that quite a bit. And it's funny, I did on Netflix, but not streaming because that wasn't a thing yet. I would just
Right.
get
The
shows
DVDs.
yeah, the DVDs.
Doug showing his age.
Yeah, right. So I would just watch a whole bunch of shows while I'd be doing stuff for clients, and that was fun. I liked doing it. It was always kind of fun, like when you have it. I think that's what people like about binging is that when you have a show that's kind of nice to just have on, and it kind of feels like you're just listening to a friend talking, kind of thing, because the whole show has like a good show really does have like an environment and an atmosphere and a feel to it.
Yeah.
But now I guess like podcasting is kind of replaced, but even before then there's like radio and stuff, blah blah blah. So yeah, I get it, I understand it. Now I just don't have time. I mean, it's like I do have shows that I watch. I'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes of something like a day. But yeah, in terms of like sit down and binge something, get all the way through, like, yeah, I don't know if I have the time for that anymore, sadly.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 100 bits. I have to ask, which form of media do you prefer to watch movies or TV shows in? Physical or streaming? Personally, I like physical after seeing original stuff getting removed from Max, Disney Plus, etc.
I'm always gonna prefer physical, because again, you're right. When you have it, when you buy it, it's yours, and it's nice to actually have that physical thing there. I like how they're gonna do the box art on it, what extra features are they gonna have on it, and stuff like that. I like it. It's physically yours. Where you're right with streaming, if the whatever something goes wrong with the internet, you can't watch it. If the streaming service takes it off, you can't watch it. Which streaming service has it again? You have to go looking for it. You have to pay for all these streaming services and stuff. So, but I'm not gonna lie, I do use the streaming services when I'm like, if it's convenient, definitely, to watch something. But if it's something I really, really like and I hold dear, I always get a physical copy of it. And I hate when they don't have a physical copy of something, when it's only on Netflix or Disney Plus or something like that. Like, that's a real shame.
Yeah, for real. Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. Whoa, back it up, Doug. Did I just hear you've never seen Blue Velvet?
I've seen clips of it. I have not seen the whole movie. Yeah, I gotta watch it. I know it's kind of like, and I really want to see it because that's like the one where people are really divided on it with David Lynch, or just like, is it good or is it not? Is it bad taste that actually turns out into good taste, or is it just bad taste? So I'm like, I'm really fascinated to watch the whole thing. But yeah, I never had a chance to watch the whole thing.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 100 bits. What is the saddest movie that made you feel depressed even after watching it?
Oh, I had one that kind of ruined my Christmas. We saw, my wife and I just got the complete wrong idea what this movie was about. We thought this movie was kind of like a Sandlot flick. And it was not. It was a really aggressive drama. It's called The Florida Project. And have you seen this movie?
No, but I know it's not The Sandlot.
No, it's not. And it is just crazy, insanely depressing. And it's very good. It's a very good movie. But like, we're just looking for something. We had like a little bit of time in between, like, we just got back from my wife's folks' place, and then we're gonna go to like, my folks' place, and it's like, okay, well, we got like, I don't know, 2 hours, hour and a half or something. Let's just put on something. I was like, I heard Florida Project's really good. Let's try that. And after it was done, we just like kind of looked at each other, went woof, and we just sort of drove in a daze, and we said hi to everybody in a daze, and we're interacting, but we're just sort of like we're just thinking about that movie. We just kind of go home and go to sleep, and we just get up in the morning still in the daze. And I just looked at my wife and said, "I'm still thinking about that movie." She's like, "Me too. I cannot get it out of my head. I am depressed." It's very good, but it is very depressing.
And you are also very blurry, Doug.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Is that better? Or
Yeah,
no?
you're getting better.
All right, cool.
Cool. Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Over the weekend, I finished a 13-episode anime called Riddle Story of Devil, which I recommend for your watch list, and I am now 2 episodes into Columbo and really like it.
Oh, Columbo's great. Holy shit. I'm just looking up this interesting show. This Riddle Story of Devil. You sure this isn't a hentai? Yeah, the images popping up here are little suggested, or maybe that's just anime. Hard to tell.
Doug. Doug.
But
Not
no,
all anime is hentai, Doug. You know this. Shut up. Don't be that person, Douglas Walker.
Does anime know that? Does anime
Yes, anime knows that, Doug. Everyone knows that.
And in terms of Columbo's great. You know what I have to see? I always heard about it. I've never seen an episode. I gotta watch it. Janeway, what's her name? Kate Mulgrew did.
Oh yeah.
Was it Miss Columbo? Right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think she did Miss Columbo, because the joke in the show is that you never see his wife. So then she has a show, and the joke is you never see the husband. You know, it's the same thing. She's like solving murders and stuff like that. And I never got to see it. It's a great actress. It's a cool idea. And I never got a chance to check it out. So I don't know. I got to find that somewhere. But the Columbo movies are really great.
Diff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. This one's for you, Heather. You once said you used to be a teacher. What grade did you teach? I taught middle schoolers, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I mostly did grammar, English language, grammar, writing, that kind of stuff. But I did do 2 years of communications. My 8th graders used to have to take a class on public speaking. It was a great idea. 13-year-olds need to know how to communicate. They don't know how to communicate their feelings or their thoughts or anything, really.
That's very true. Very true.
Yep. Hell of a Bluey, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Rise of the Beast?
Like the Transformer one?
I assume.
Beast. I'm just making sure there's not. Yeah, that one. No, but that is one at some point I'll do, because I feel like that has to do well. All the Transformer movies in a video. So I'll see it. I'll check it out. I'll even have to see that one I swore I wouldn't see, because I said they were just so formulaic I could predict what happened. And I did. I just said in the video, I said, I'm not doing a review. I'm just going to predict what happens. And that's the reason why I'm not seeing it. And everybody's like, dude, you got like 95% of it right.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, if you ever get around to finishing AMC's The Walking Dead, I strongly encourage you not to skip some seasons and watch a recap video. Some of the best moments and most amazing new ideas they introduce is some of the best in this show that's worth pushing through the underwhelming stuff to get to. Similar to Spider-Man 3.
I believe you. It's just finding time. It is one of those things where it's like, sometimes I know a show will be great. I just don't have time. I'm not going to have time to finish Adventure Time. I doubt I'm going to have time to finish all of Steven Universe. So I did watch a recap video on that, though I did watch Future and I really liked it. I think that's another one where I believe you, but for a show that I was already losing interest in when I finally left it, I'm just like, yeah, if there's any show I'm going to return to and really dedicate, I'm going to get through this, it's not going to be Walking Dead. It's going to be something like Adventure Time or Steven Universe, or one of the ones I've always wanted to see, like Dragon Ball or something like that. So yeah, that's probably where I'm gonna put my attention, sadly. But thank you, I believe you. But it's probably not gonna happen.
Diff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Dear Heather and Doug, have you ever walked out on a movie from the theater or stopped watching a TV show altogether? I feel like I drop TV shows often.
Yeah, I was gonna say lots of TV shows. In terms of movies, there's 2 I can think of that I walked out of. And one was The Haunting, the remake of The Haunting. I walked out of that. And then the sequel to Zorro, I walked out of. That was amazingly bad. And both of those I had to go back and watch all of, because I reviewed it for Nostalgia Critic eventually.
Right, right, right. The only ones I ever remember like physically walking out of is right before I left for Japan. Lucas and I did theater hopping because I'd never theater hopped before. And I was like, okay, I want to do it. Like, let's just get a ticket and then we're just going to theater hop. And we started with Cars 2, and I was like, fuck this. Let's go do something else. And then we walked into some Transformers movie or something, and I was like, why? How do we keep walking into awful movies? And I can't even remember how we ended, but I was like, of course, fantastic, great, love that for us.
At least here the cars turn into something else. Maybe we'll like the something else they turn into.
Right.
I used to theater hop a lot because I'm not kidding. I really did love the movie Prince of Egypt when it came out, and I tried to see as many times as I could on the big screen. And whenever I was seeing a movie I already saw, like sometimes even on date night or something like that, I would just sneak in and watch a little bit of Prince of Egypt because I'm like, this isn't gonna be on the big screen forever. I want to take in as much of this as I can.
Yeah. DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 100 bits. Which animated movie made you feel so mad that such a good animation was wasted on such a crappy script? To me, it was 8 Crazy Nights and Lion King 2019, especially Lion King 2019.
Those two are good. I just reviewed something and that I was saying like the animation was really good, but the story was really bad. I'm totally blanking on what it is. Let me look back real fast at the stuff I remember.
It was Robin Hood. No.
Okay.
Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the film is not that bad. It's like, it's terrible, but I do feel bad because it's like that wasn't the right animation for that movie. That's not the animation that makes those jokes work. So I felt really bad. It is one of those instances where the animation was too good for the source material, though.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your ranking of the Ocean's 11, 12, and 13 movies?
I've only seen the first one. Why see more? I didn't get why they made C. As soon as they had the little like hint at a sequel at the end of the first one, I'm just like, why? This is a perfectly set up movie. I don't know why there's sequels. And I heard none of them are as good as the first one, so I just never checked them out.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I just learned this. Mickey Mouse has a sister. Her name is Felicity Field Mouse. Did you know this?
No, what? No. Okay, well, Felicity Field Mouse?
Yeah.
What?
I've never heard of that before.
Oh my gosh, she's like a modern woman.
I'm pressing X to doubt.
No, there's like I think it was in like these old comics or something like that. She just looks like it was the 70s maybe or something like that. She just looks like she's got like her little she's got like a perfectly normal eye. She has the big ears, but then normal haircut. But she still has the white gloves.
Amazing.
Gotta love that.
Fantastic. Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Unpopular opinion number 2. Why were the McAllisters from Home Alone 1 written as terrible people and family members? I know the first movie wasn't written with themes of abuse in mind, but some of the directing choices for each cast member makes the family members awful to any child that wants to escape their family.
Well, so it's funny. Tamara and Jim had that same reaction when they saw it. They thought the family was way too unlikable. I have known families that big, and there's a lot of truth to it. Sometimes you just have to be, I'm not saying they're right, but sometimes in order to keep any kind of order, you do have to crack, and there are things that fall through the cracks as well. And that's why I like that movie, is that when it really comes down to the important thing, like getting back to your, like that's something that fell through the cracks. And if they really were a terrible family, like, he'll be fine. Just check the police, have them check it. He'll be fine. No, the mother trying to get back as quickly as possible. I mean, going from, and she's like having a mental breakdown, and she's saying, well, what kind of a person am I, and everything. See, that's what balances it out to me. And I love when she goes back there and she sees him there, and he doesn't just run up and hug her. Like, he kind of takes a second, and he needs her to apologize, and she does, and then he instantly forgives her and gets that smile and hug. Like, that's a very important scene. So I think all that stuff does play into it. I think there is a little bit more realism there for such a goofy movie that than some people give credit for. That is one of the reasons I want to talk about the film this year, because I get where people are coming from hating that family, but I think there's more going on than some people give credit for.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever seen Frankenstein versus the Mummy? It was directed by the guy who made the Terrifier movies and not Stephen Sommers.
I just assumed it was like one of those old like black and white movies, but I did not know there was like, yeah, look at that, this newer version or a version at all. I mean, I love the Terrifier movies, so all right, I'll try to check that out. Looks like fun.
Classic HLP, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we expect a review on Violent Night for the holidays this year? It has a nostalgic feel despite coming out not even a year ago. Also, I think this movie is right up your alley. Love your reviews. Keep up the good work.
I'll at the very least check it out, because I don't know. I was kind of getting sick of Tough Santa movies. Yeah. I mean, there's just so damn many of them. But a lot of people say it's good. A lot of people have been asking me my thoughts on it. So at the very least, I'll watch it. I don't know if I'll do a review of it, but if it's really as good as everybody says it is, maybe I will.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you hear that the Criterion Collection is releasing Del Toro's Pinocchio in 4K? Incredibly, this amazing adaptation is getting a physical release by Criterion. They should do more animated movies since they are also cinema. What would you pick to add to their collection?
Christ. I mean, some of them I have to see, because there are some in there. Like, I think WALL-E is in there.
Yeah, but that was one of the first Pixar films to ever be put in the Criterion Collection, which blows my mind a little bit. Like, what, you mean something like Toy Story or Ratatouille isn't in there too?
Yeah, it's a little weird. I mean, I feel like, do they have any of the Ghibli films? I thought they had one or two in there.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, definitely some of the. I mean, I think you would have to look at some anime in there, definitely. God, there's too many for those to count. In terms of like American animation, I don't know, for like that style and everything. I mean, I would maybe throw like maybe the Spider-Verse movies in there. Even though I think that would be unpopular, because there's 3 of them and there's superhero movies, but Armageddon's in there, so I feel like you can get the Spider-Verse movies. And yeah, a couple Pixar. Persepolis would be a great one to have in there.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like that's up their alley. Yeah, there's a couple for you.
JPith, thank you for the 100 bits. I take it you're a fan of the original Alice in Wonderland story. In that case, I highly recommend a lesser-known version from 1966, where none of the characters are animals, they're just guys in suits, but all the dialogue is still the same, which honestly makes it come off even more surreal and dreamlike. It's incredible.
I've seen a lot of it. Let me see if I recognize this one. Oh, no, I haven't seen this one. Yeah, you're right. They're not even like dressed up like animals. Oh, okay, no, a couple are. But it looks like, I don't know, they transition to people or something? I don't know. Oh, this looks cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm down for that. It's a BBC one, I guess. Or maybe not. But Peter Sellers is in it. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm Michael Redgrave. Yeah. Peter Cook. Okay, yeah, I'm sold. I want to see this.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh no, when I said intro, I meant his spoken intro. Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic. Sorry, my misunderstanding.
No, I thought you meant like the intro too.
Yeah.
Or the musical intro and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't want to.
You're also Doug right now. You're not the nostalgia critic.
Exactly.
You're speaking as Doug.
I would be lying to the people, and on the day I review Liar Liar, that just wouldn't be appropriate.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I just remembered, I found another page on YouTube that posted Doug's DreamWorksuary videos and a few other older videos. The page is called Deep Fried Productions. Thank you for letting us know.
Look at it.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you rather live in a world where you like Pokemon or live in a world where you dislike Brazil?
Oh, I would love to have grown up with Pokemon. I feel like if I grew up with that as a kid, I would love it as much as everyone else does. Absolutely. Like,
I agree.
No doubt. It has, like...
You would have obsessively memorized all their names and stats and stuff.
Absolutely. We used to trade like Marvel trading cards when we were kids and stuff. Like I was obsessed with the X-Men. I loved series where there's a bunch of different versions of like, man, that's why I liked X-Men so much because there's a bunch of different mutants and stuff like that. I will love this shit out of it. It's just easy to make fun of. And it's fun because growing up in the 80s and just very easily recognizing when something is designed to be sold to you. I know Pokemon has come a long way. It has a following and stuff, but that's clearly what it is. And that's fine. I love my Ninja Turtles, my He-Man, my Mario Brothers and all that, but they were designed to do that too. They were designed to be sold to you. And that's funny. But it's also cool to see how far it comes from that as well. And it can become something a little bit more. But come on, there's great humor in the obviousness. Gotta collect them all is the phrase.
It's gotta catch them all, Doug.
Oh, I'm sorry. God, that just totally changed it. Yeah.
It really does. It changes everything.
Collect would be too on the nose.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Will we ever get an NC for The Mask of Zorro since you already reviewed the POS sequel? Also, would you cast Heather or Tamara to play Catherine Zeta-Jones, or would you force your wife into it?
Catherine Zeta-Jones. I feel like especially with like kind of the longer hair and stuff, that'd probably be more a Heather thing. But it's always so funny. For some reason, Heather, whenever I always think of you with the
brown
dark hair. Yeah, I don't.
still.
Every single time you come in to play a character, you're like, so what wig should I get? I'm always like, oh, right. And I see you like all the time. I see
All the time.
purple there. It's bright purple.
All the time.
For some reason, I never connected.
It's all right.
But no, that might be an interesting movie to talk about. That is a great movie. I really do love that movie. But it would also be fun to talk about things that do not age well, like Catherine Zeta-Jones, though absolutely beautiful, is not Mexican. And big shock, neither is Anthony Hopkins.
Big shock.
Yeah, that would be stuff that would be kind of fun to make jokes about.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Wednesday, you guys! Hope you're doing well. Did either of you see the second trailer for The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? And if so, what are your thoughts? I'm getting more excited for this movie. I'm excited for it. I kind of want to read the book before I see it, though. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, and I loved the Hunger Games books, so I got to read the book.
So it is based on a book. This isn't just a prequel they're making up. Okay, all right. That's a little reassuring, because honestly, I was kind of looking at like, all right, they're just trying to cash in on something years later and stuff. But the fact that there is a book on it, it helps out a little bit. I saw the first teaser. It looked fine. I like those movies. I never got super into them. But again, I didn't grow up with them. I didn't read the books and stuff like that. But they are good. So I'm sure I'll review it when it comes out.
A Pagan Priest, thank you for the 100 bits. Yesterday would have been Adam West's birthday. What's your favorite Adam West moment?
I'm trying to be nice and see if there's anything that's not Batman, that I can call back to. And I'm just like, no, it has to be something Batman related. I don't know. I feel like it's gotta be just some day she can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
That is just such a funny delivery. I also really like, there's one episode they're chasing, I don't know, a Catwoman or something, and she goes into the ladies' room and they cover their eyes to go in and fight her. That was so funny.
Classic HLP, thank you for the 100 bits. Follow up to the Violent Night request. I think a first viewing for it would be legendary. Any possibilities?
If I review it, I'll do a first viewing of it.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Can I share a dumb story? It's worth it. I had a dream once, and you were in it. I was in a movie theater watching an NC review screening. The messed up part is that you stole my car, and I was stuck in the parking lot. It's random. Don't expect a good dream.
I'll return it when I'm done with it.
Noah Zitter, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, is next week's review The Flash?
I'll never tell.
You'll just have to see. Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What is one Disney Broadway that is better than the movie it was based on? Not in terms of popularity, but in terms of production and writing.
Maybe in a popular opinion? I don't know. The Hunchback. I
I
really
gotta
like.
see the Hunchback
Yeah,
stage
I, I
production.
think it's on YouTube. You can probably check it out. But again, keeping in mind that really is the writing, the music, the acting. It clearly has no money. Everything is abstract. Everything is like, oh, just imagine the church. Just imagine these are gargoyles. Just imagine, like Disney was clearly like, okay, we'll do it because you really want to do it. We're not giving you anything close to like our Disney remake money. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think it made it to Broadway. Honestly, I think it was just a stage show. But yeah, I loved it. I loved the musical. I love the mixing of the animated film and the original story. The way
Mm.
they mixed it together, they actually really, really gel very well. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it.
At movies, that's a great one. Newsies. The stage
Oh,
production of Newsies is so much better than the movie. And I love the Newsies movie. It is not perfect at all, but I have such a soft spot for the Newsies movie. It's my first exposure to Christian Bale.
I feel like I bet the stage show is phenomenal. That movie
It's
just so
fun.
feels like it was made to be a stage show. So when they did that, there's kind of like a finally, revelation there. So yeah, I bet that's good.
A Pagan Priest, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug, I don't know if you're into trading card games at all, but what do you think of Disney's Lorcana?
I don't even know what it is.
It's a Disney trading card game. It's
I
gotten
assume, yeah.
it's gotten a lot of hype. It just came out like a couple of weeks ago. There was a little bit of a preview event. I went to a day of Gen Con, and there's a little bit of a preview for it at Gen Con, and people are loving it right now. I haven't played it, and I don't know many people who have gotten their hands on it. But yeah.
Oh, maybe did I see an ad for? Oh, maybe I didn't. At some point, I thought I saw like some sort of trailer for this about a year ago, but I don't know if they would have it that long ago. I mean, the artwork on them looks really cool. That's always so many trading cards have like so much great artwork on them.
Heck
That
yeah,
was
they
always
do.
my favorite. That was one of the reasons where it's like I never played many trading card games. I just liked having the cards because I love seeing the different styles and everything
Yeah.
back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Max Man, thank you for the 100 bits. With the last of my bits for now, how much do you remember of your time living in Italy before your family moved back to the States? And do you even know some slight Italian?
No, I do not. Unless that is the only word I know, which that would be the only word. I maybe the only kind of memory I have, and this is probably the earliest memory I have of anything, is I remember my aunt was visiting. I was walking around and I had, those little things that you blow bubbles out of the little bubble
Yes.
bottle and stuff like that. I had like the I don't know what you call it, the handle of a pail that you rip off. It's kind of
Like
like
the
this
wand?
yeah, kind of like this little plastic chain and stuff. And I said it was a camera. And my aunt was kind of like, "How is that a How do you get a camera?" And to me, it just made so much sense. It's like, no, I get really close. I put my eye in there and I go like that with the little chain. I go click, click. I take the picture. I was like, obviously, how can she not see this? And I'm thinking, yeah, if I was an adult looking at that kid, I'd just be like, yeah, that's a psycho.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you watched Ryan Johnson's new show, Poker Face?
No, I guess I didn't hear. I saw a preview. It looked interesting. And that's another one of those where it's like, I'll wait until I hear if it's any good. I haven't heard anything about it. But I haven't heard anything bad about it either. So yeah, I don't know if it's good or not.
Hewlett Fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, just out of curiosity, have you ever seen or heard of Cyber 6, a brilliant anime-inspired cartoon from 1999 that you should really check out? Also, random, but could you do an NC of Pinocchio 3000? It's a CGI adaptation from 2004 that never gets mentioned much.
I only know I've seen a clip of this show because at the time I did a comic where I put myself in this comic. I put myself as like a little kid, and I was kind of like, honestly, kind of how the NC is now. I was like a little asshole who would scream and yell. And I saw this kid in this show who was eerily similar to that. So I remember I watched that episode just to see. I was just like, oh my God, that's like exactly how it would be in the comic. I don't know anything else about the show. I was like, I think it looks like TMS animation. That's about all I know about it. But if you say it's good, maybe I should check it out. And what's the second half of the question?
Pinocchio 3000, will you review it?
I have never heard of that. I gotta see what that looks like.
Pinocchio 3000.
Ooh, Whoopi Goldberg. Ooh, and Malcolm McDowell.
The absolute joy at Whoopi Goldberg.
Ooh, this I mean, it looks scary, like a Pinocchio story should be, but I don't think it's for the reasons they intended. Ugh, ugh, yeah, that looks horrifying. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. That looks pretty creepy.
Hell of a Bluey, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug the. Oh, sorry. Batman the Animated Series, Avatar The Last Airbender, or Gravity Falls? Which one?
Uh, Probably Last Airbender. Yeah, that's pretty much my favorite show. Chat, you could come up.
Joel B, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Oh, I like it. I don't know. How do you dislike Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? It was really interesting when they did the more serious episode, because everyone remembers the big way. How come my father don't want me, man? Yeah, everyone remembers that. But then there's some other ones that aren't as good. There's one where that deals with gun violence, and which is like, okay, that's a serious subject and everything. But they have Carlton trying to get a gun to get revenge, and it's like, no, you can't do it with Carlton. And literally, the audience is laughing at some of the dramatic moments, and they didn't edit out the laughter, which I was really shocked at. And it is one of those things where I'm like, well, okay, I guess they're kind of learning their lesson. Like, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Yeah, no, I mean that I can still watch that scene with Smith and what's his name? Uncle Phil. I'm blanking on his name.
I can't remember the actor's name.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can still watch that scene, just get like chills, like goosebumps.
James Avery, thank you, chat.
James Avery, thank you. Yeah. That's such an amazing moment. I guess there's a lot of stories about them like preparing for that moment, too. And James Avery like really, really helped them out and get that scene as real as possible. And yeah, it's just, I mean, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it just has like one of the most chilling, dramatic moments in like any sitcom.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Of the 6 films Haley Mills did for Disney in the 60s, which is your favorite? Pollyanna, Parent Trap, Summer Magic, Search of the Castaways, Moon Spinners, and Darn Cat. Also, I recommend her biography, Forever Young.
Oh, that might be interesting. I like Haley Mills. I grew up with her. I thought she was pretty cool. I remember Good Morning Miss Bliss, the original Saved by the Bell, when she was the star of that. It was just as bad as the regular Saved by the Bell, but still. That Darn Cat. I love that movie. I think that movie's so funny. And all the actors, including her, are very charming in it.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Since you're kind of on a Jim Carrey kick, would you like to review any more of his movies? Maybe Eternal Sunshine or Ace Ventura?
Yeah, I don't know which ones though. I don't know. It's like every once in a while, just a movie will pop in my head where I'll just be like, I just really randomly want to talk about that right now. Yeah, like I said, I really want to talk about Truman Show, and then I was like, yeah, now I'm in the mood to talk about Liar Liar. So I don't know. Maybe Bruce Almighty will be next. I'm not sure.
Joel B, thank you for the 100 bits. Had Spectacular Spider-Man continued, would you say we could have had the Spider-Man equivalent to Batman the Animated Series?
About as close as you can get, maybe, with Spider-Man. Because it is, I was gonna say it is rough because everybody knows the story and there's so many versions, but there was with Batman as well, I guess. But I don't know. I guess at the time when Batman the Animated Series came out, in terms of like serious ones, like on TV and movies and stuff, there was really just the Burton one. Because you had obviously the Adam West one. And there weren't too many dramatic ones before it, but there's been tons of Spider-Man, versions of Spider-Man when Spectacular came out. So I don't think you'd have like quite the same impact, quite the same, weight and reach that show did. But yeah, I'd say it's probably about as close as you could with a Spider-Man show.
John 316, thank you for the 100 bits. Just saw your review of The Three Stooges. Whilst I agree their acting was horrible, I give the Jersey Shore cast credit. They at least were good sports about being the butt of a joke, and it looked as though they were actually having fun for once.
Yeah, I never saw the show. I had no interest. I don't know. It's weird when everyone's like, the show is awful. You should watch it. Why? I mean, maybe because I do it for a living. I'm like, I see enough shit. So maybe that's why I just kind of stayed away from it. But yeah, I believed everybody when they said it. But I agree. It's like, when I heard they were in the movie, I really thought it was going to be more of like, oh, they just walking by. Wow, it's Jersey Shore. And like maybe one of them does like a Three Stooges thing. But the fact that the whole thing is them getting beat up, that it's like, I agree. It kind of shows they have a good sense of humor.
Hell of a Bluey, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Death Note?
The original or the, I'm sure they're talking about the original. I saw maybe the first 4 episodes, I think, and I liked it. It's another one where I'm like, this is good. I just have other stuff to do. I'll catch up with it another time, and I never did. But it's another one of those shows where I've just heard so much about it. I'm like, I think I know what happens in it. It's not something I'm like, oh, I gotta see that. I gotta watch it. I'm like, no, like I feel like I got the gist of it. I got, like I got enough. No, nobody says like once you start it, like you have to finish it. You have to. It's like, no, the idea is what's cool about it. The presentation, in the first few episodes. After that, I hear it's good. Like it's a good show, but it's not something like, no, you have to finish it, kind of thing.
Joel B, thank you for the 300 bits.
Thank you.
Which is worse to sit through, in your opinion, a bad Adam Sandler comedy or a bad Will Ferrell comedy?
I'll say Adam Sandler because Will Ferrell doesn't usually do voices. Adam Sandler will try to do a voice for a whole character the whole time, and that's like, that's really rough.
It's true. Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Channel Furry. Channel Awesome. How's your day going?
Fantastic.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think a Disney animated version of Dracula could work? They made both Sleepy Hollow and Hunchback work, after all.
When I was younger, so I think everybody, when they want to like go into film or they can draw or something like that, like has like just sort of like a fanscription thing, they play in their head and stuff like that. And I did always think of like a hand-drawn version of Dracula. And I think I got that idea when on Tarzan, they said Tarzan is the character that the most films have been made about, except for Dracula. And I was just like, Disney's Dracula, what would that be like? And it's like, it sounds kind of silly, but then the more I thought about it, I would kind of do like Hunchback and stuff, like could be kind of cool and stuff like that. Like, so I think it could, but that was always kind of like my cool little fanscription dream idea. It's like, I don't know, especially hand drawn, they wouldn't try it now.
No.
But I don't know. I feel like that'd be kind of the perfect way to do it. I feel like even if not Disney, I'd love to see like some sort of big budget. You got like I don't know, maybe even like an anime studio, like with kind of a different style, having fun with that. I think they could do something pretty cool.
Joel B, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the John Carpenter film They Live?
Oh my God, I love it. That's always one I have on the list. Like, yeah, I'll get to that some Halloween. I'll get to it. And I always put it off because I always think, yeah, I love it, but nobody's going to watch a review of it and stuff. But yeah, oh my God, it's so fucking great. So goddamn cool.
JPith, thank you for the 100 bits. In addition to that one question someone asked where a movie could vanish from existence and you'd be the only one to remember it existed, that did in fact happen to me once. I sold my soul to Satan and he granted me that one wish. It was so long ago though, I can barely remember the movie. What was the movie? Something starring Sinbad? Shazam maybe? DK.
That's good. I was wondering where you were going with that. I was just like, okay, I hope this kid hasn't just lost the mind. It's like, okay. No, that was a pretty good joke.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. When I was listening to the Grinch song, I found out the guy singing it was the same VA for Tony the Tiger. I never would have guessed.
Yeah, and the Haunted Mansion. He was a big Disney guy, did a lot of voiceover and stuff like that.
That makes sense. I don't know why I didn't know the Haunted Mansion one, but as soon as you said that, I'm like, of course. No, yeah, all right.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's a very easy voice to pick up. There was years ago, there was a fun little, like just things you never knew, like special. This was back in the 90s, and where he was already pretty old, and they would, he talks about, they would kind of follow him in the grocery store, where he would just say hi to kids, and the kids would kind of stop and look. Can you say hi? Can you say hi again? Hi. And like they can't quite get it. He says, oh, you mean Tony the Tiger? And they go, do great. And he does the they're great. Do it again. It's like the goddamn cutest
That's
thing.
so cute. Jag fan, thank you for the 100 bits. If you could buy any toy from your commercial reviews, new in box, what would it be?
Um, Wonder Boner, clearly. My wife would like one of that.
Oh my god, dog!
No, honestly, and I think we have some of these at the studio. Well, in storage now, but just maybe one of those original like Ninja Turtle toys. Because I am one of those people. I kind of remember like even the box art on it. Not that it was great box art, but I remember it. I thought it looked cool and stuff like that. Like it'd be neat to see like one of those again. I don't know. Anytime I go to like a convention where they have like they're selling toys and stuff like that. Like I do kind of drop by and just see if they still have like the box and then do they have the box art? Oh, cool. All right. Like that's, I don't know. It's my weird little nostalgia thing.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I recently watched the film Shadow of a Doubt and really enjoyed it. Hitchcock apparently called it his best work. What are your thoughts?
I'll be honest. I don't know if I've seen that one. Even worse. I don't even know if I've heard of it. Shadow of a Doubt. Let me see. I've never seen this one. The fact that he thought that though instantly makes me want to check it out. I will try to look at it.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Escape from Witch Mountain for Disney December. Also, guess which review I just watched. Moon. That spells critic.
Oh, the Stand. Yeah, that's right. And I don't know if I saw all of Escape to Witch Mountain. That's another one where it's like I think I saw clips of it when I was a kid, and I never saw all of it. So maybe it makes sense to finally sit down and watch the whole thing.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Is a movie being boring enough for it to be bad? Are boring movies like boring action films or Disney remakes aren't even uniquely bad worse to you than absolute garbage like Barney's Great Adventure or The Room or, God forbid, Garbage Pail Kids?
And for me, a boring movie is much tougher to get through.
Yeah.
And that's why like a lot of people debate, is like the newer Indiana Jones, is that the worst one? And I'm like, well, I feel like it's more competently made than, something like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but it's like the new one was just so boring and it was just like you can barely stay awake through and everything. So it's like, maybe I would call it the worst one because like even though there's better moments in it, it's like Kingdom with Crystal Skull. It's stupid. It's not very good, but it's like it is memorable. I can remember scenes from it where I like struggle to remember anything from this new one.
Yeah, I would agree because I think some of the worst Daniel Craig Bond movies are just boring. And it's like, it's Bond. It can be so much, but boring is what it should never be.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to do something really, really particular if you're going to make something boring. Like, what is not coming out in the translation? Because, like, somebody somewhere said, man, this is a story that deserves to be told to the people. And everyone collectively could not make it work. How does that happen? Like, that,
Right.
In a weird way, that's almost more fascinating to me.
Right. Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. If you want something different to watch this Spoopstober, check out the 1982 TV movie Rehearsal for Murder, starring Robert Preston, Lynn Redgrave, Jeff Goldblum, and William Daniels.
Okay. Yeah, never heard of that one either. I will try to check that out.
Sleeping Cat Studios, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your thoughts on Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Oh, I liked it. I never did see the sequel. I doubt I'm going to see the third one. I did see a minute of the show, and that was enough. It was really, really bad. But the original movie, I still think is very, very funny. There's one scene where I love it when you see something and you kind of know like a friend or a family member is going to react very well, and you're kind of waiting for that scene to happen. So I saw the movie and I liked it, but the one scene where the parents are having like all those shots and everything's kind of distorted, and then they see the grandma being wheeled away dressed in black, like pointing at them, screaming obscenities because you already know how strange that character is, and for them just that's their introduction just made me laugh so hard. And I just remember saying, I got to take Rob to see this movie because I got to see his reaction to it. And just when that scene happened, I just stopped watching the movie. I looked at him. He laughed just as hard as I did. We both just had the same sense of humor about that scene.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the news with Russell Brand?
I mean, what do you think I'm going to say about it? I didn't like him even before the allegations. I will say this. It's something that, because the thing going around a lot is people saying it was an open secret. I know people that work out in Hollywood and stuff like that. I've heard that too. It's definitely not something where if it's true, because right now it is allegations, it's innocent until proven guilty and everything. But if it's true, who the hell's going to be surprised by that? Like, what? No, not him. The guy literally took a reporter and put her on his lap to do the what? Him? Like, I don't know. I've heard so many stories about him that just, he always sounded like a slime ball. Everything about him seemed like a slime ball. I don't think he was that talented. So to me, I'm just like, if that is the truth, I hope justice is served because I never liked the guy anyway.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. Are you going to do an NC on Miss Doubtfire? It's my favorite comedy of all time.
I've thought about it. I think that'd be an interesting movie to talk about because it's interesting to see the stuff that they do, but then also what they don't do with some of the cliches and everything. Like they originally were going to make Pierce Brosnan like the bad guy in there, and then Chris Columbus was like, no, we don't need that. Let's just back. He's an okay guy. Let's keep an okay guy. And just the scene where they were going to reveal it, like at the pool. He was going to say something really nasty, and the Mrs. Doubtfire was going to, get him away from the family because he's a bad guy. But he was saying, Columbus was saying, no, this is about a family, a couple that they should be split apart. And that's okay. That is a natural part of it. And I think we need to show there are okay people out there that can get together and they can move on and stuff like that. And I just thought that was such a smart choice. So the little touches like that, I think, make that movie stand out a little bit more.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. The only film I ever walked out of was Flubber. I was getting upset with the imagery and I was feeling as if my intelligence was being insulted. I asked my mom to leave and she said, thank God. Yeah, it was a stupid movie. By the way, I was 4.
4, wow. Okay, that is impressive. I know a lot of people that like that, well, a lot of younger people that like that movie. And yeah, I also like the original. I like the original. I have some in my head, Professor. And it could have been a good remake. That's what pisses me off. Yeah, I didn't care for it.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Another film recommendation I have for this time of year is 2013 Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters with Jeremy Renner. It takes itself just seriously enough and is a goofy, gory, fun time, but make sure you see the extended 98-minute cut for all the violence.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that movie was pretty fun. I've heard that too, to see the extended one, the bloodier version. So I'll check it out at some point.
Excuse me. Sleeping Cat Studios, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's a question for Chaplin. What's your favorite interruption cameo for the NC review?
Interruption cameo from the NC review.
Beautiful.
Threw you off your game, right? You think I was gonna say something like I'm Chaplin, but he meowed. He never does that.
Oh man. Is Chaplin reverting? Is Chaplin okay? That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Sometimes I get curious and Google random things. Just now, I Googled IMDb worst actors. These are the top 5 worst actors that someone listed. 5, Megan Fox. 4, Jaden Smith. 3, Madonna. 2, Tommy Wiseau. And the number 1 worst actor is Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, sounds like a solid list. I mean, I don't know. A lot of those lists are very clearly just like personal. Like, I don't like this person or their acting gets to me, which is fair. Like, Matthew Broderick's acting gets to me. I'm not going to say he's one of the worst actors of all time, though, Kathy. That is maybe because I have seen so many like bad films. Someone like a Tommy Wiseau or something should be one of the number ones up there. Yeah, no, there's a lot of like personal lists out there that are really just like, I don't like this. It should just be called people I don't like, usually.
Yeah, for sure. JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Gangs of New York? I'll be damned if that isn't one of Scorsese's that needed to be an hour shorter.
I agree. And that's one of those. I fall into this trap too several times. When you have a passion project and you take too long on it and you don't pay attention to what's happening around you and saying, here's some updates you should do, here's some things you should trim and move around and stuff like that. Let me put it this way. If that's his Phantom Menace, that's still a pretty damn impressive Phantom Menace.
If that's his Phantom Menace.
I mean, that's still pretty damn impressive.
Sorry, that was great.
I will say this. I thought it'd be worse after seeing the trailers and the reviews. I really thought it was going to be a lot worse. I'm just like, okay, this is just mostly dull. But yeah, it's not very good.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 underrated comedy films people don't bring up often.
What's up, Doc? I just introduced.
That was so fun.
Yeah, just
oh
introduced
my
the
gosh.
Austin Gang to that. It's a fantastic movie. The Great Race is one of my favorite comedies. I'm trying to think. What's another one that like. One, I don't know. I can't say it's great, but it does really make us laugh, and I think it has a following. Rat Race really makes us laugh. It's pretty stupid, but I don't know. It's the right kind of stupid for us.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. When you finished God of War, I highly recommend you watch the YouTube review by Matthew Matoyas. He goes super in depth about it. Be warned though, not everything he says about it is good.
Okay. No, I mean, it sounds bad. I don't want I want contrarian. I want someone to just disagree to disagree. It's like, no, I like hearing different opinions though when somebody might say something, that's like a different opinion. This is one guy, I really like this guy's stuff. It's tough to say that the Royal Ocean Film Society, I think is the name of the channel. And he talked about Molly's Game. He was a big fan of like the writer and the director, but he didn't like the movie. And to me, that's like one of my new favorite movies.
Right.
But I loved hearing why he didn't get into it and why he thought it didn't work. And it was really interesting to me, and how we just interpreted like in just two totally different ways. So no, I like hearing a different opinion from what I have, definitely.
Blake the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, please check out Jack Stober's Opal on not on Netflix, on HBO Max. It's a creepy claymation musical, and it's only 15 minutes long.
Oh, wait, have I seen this? Wait, let's see. I have seen this. I like it, I guess, because I've been seeing a lot of videos on it. People talk about, oh my God, you gotta see this. You gotta, I'm like, I don't know, maybe because I have seen a lot of like kind of David Lynch stuff and experimental stuff. It's like, it's good. I recommend it. It wasn't quite the mind-blowing experience I think other people had, but yeah, no, I do enjoy it.
Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. I'll give Flubber this. Weeboo is a pretty original robot design. Sorry, wow, I can't talk. All things considered, her lusting after Robin Williams, though, is a whole other thing I ain't gonna touch.
That should have been like a whole different movie. Like that would be a really interesting movie. Like I don't even know what the fuck like Disney's Frankenstein meets Batteries Not Included. I don't know. Like I really feel like you could have had like an interesting film with that. But for some reason they're like, well, no, it still has to be Absent-Minded Professor. It's like, but why? That was the story to me.
TDI Charlie Brown, thank you for the 100 bits. I give Tommy Wiseau credit. He made a piece of crap movie and he is a horrible actor, but he made his own movie and he did it his way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that is so much fun about watching him is that you can't figure out what exactly he's trying to do. And that's what makes it so fascinating. A lot, I think Mystery Science Theater guys were talking about, like what's your favorite bad movie? And I think he said The Room, and he said, because everyone thinks it's going to be like an Ed Wood movie, but you know what Ed Wood was thinking. He just wanted to get to the next shot. He was excited. He got it done. Great. Now he was impatient and stuff like that. Nobody can figure out what the hell Tommy was thinking when making that movie, and how he said his lines, the choices made and everything. And that just makes it so much funnier. And the fact that it was supposed to be dramatic, too. It's supposed to be this heartbreaking movie. So, yeah, no, I did all of that. Again, I'd much rather watch that than just, like, a boring flick.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. How much would you pay a person to create a Nostalgiaween intro for next year?
Oh, I mean, we usually have... man, something went down the wrong throat, and my voice has been really shaky. I apologize. The Yammer we usually use, we couldn't use this year because we did have the stuff with the studio and everything. So we are doing a cheaper opening this year, but I think it'll be a fun opening. I think it'll be a good one. And Jahan's still doing the music for it as well, so that'll be in there. But yeah, I like using him because I think he gave us the fan animation with the Beetlejuice intro just for fun. And then we were like, "Hey, can we buy this off of you?" And like, yeah. He's like, anything else you need? Yeah. So like, I like using him because he gets it done really quick, really well. It's got its own unique style to it. So yeah, my guess is we'll just keep using him.
Jag fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you considered the Indian in the cupboard for NC?
You know, that's another one I've never seen. And I read the book too. And for some reason, I just completely missed the film. So, yeah, I guess that's another one though. I don't know if anyone would watch it. Does anyone remember that movie? I don't know. But I should watch it because I do remember liking the book. Books actually, there's more than one. And yeah, at the very least, I should watch the thing. I'm a big Frank Oz fan too, so I want to see that film because I know he directed it.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Out of all the franchises out there, these are my top 4 I will never watch a second of. 50 Shades of Grey, Human Centipede, Twilight, and Leprechaun.
Leprechaun, you might be missing a little something. Leprechaun, some of those are pretty fun. Yeah, the others sometimes can be like so bad they can be enjoyable and stuff. A lot of the Twilight ones are pretty boring. Human Centipede is disgusting and hard to watch, but that's the idea. So it's like,
Right.
okay, well done, but I don't want to see it again. Yeah, and the 50 Shades movies, the first one anyway, was just really boring.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I personally don't mind Matthew Broderick that much as an actor. For me, someone who I know isn't the worst yet gets on my nerves easily is Cameron Diaz. Nothing against her personality, and she's been good in a couple of movies, but when she's misused, coughs Gang of New York, it can be a lot to take in, at least for me.
You know, that's so funny because I feel like, and I don't know her in person, so I always feel bad when I say this, but anytime I see her in an interview, I'm just like, yeah, it's the same thing when I see Johnny Depp in an interview. I'm just like, I do not gravitate towards this person at all. I do not find this person the least bit interesting or charming or anything, you know, but it could be very nice in real life. I don't know. But when she acts, I get into her performances a great deal. I think she has great charm in her movies. I'm not gonna say Gangs of New York is one of her better ones, but I thought she was fine, you know, in it. Yeah, no, that's honestly one of those where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. She's in terms of acting, like, I think she does okay. I think she does a good job.
Yeah, cool. We are going to have some time for some highlighted questions here, about 15 minutes. So Doug, if you need to take a drink of water or something, pause to give yourself some water because you said your throat was like being weird.
Yeah, I think just got a little scratchy or something like
All
that.
right,
Like,
you're good.
something went down the wrong pipe, and then like, yeah, just got me talking like this a little bit.
All right. Elite Gamer says, hello, Heather and Doug. Glad studio will reopen soon. Hopefully it's tornado proof now. Lol. So, Doug, how's it feel to work with a Star Wars star, Sabine Wren? I was wondering, what's the worst episode of Batman that you just skip? I hope you guys have a great day.
Worst episode of Batman that I just skip? Like I can't watch it kind of thing?
I don't know.
Maybe yeah, I mean, most of them, I don't know. Even if they're bad, I still kind of want to watch them because the artwork always looks so good. There's I'll say this. So the ones that Walter Cat talked about, there's one or two where the animation, I think like the first one with the Riddler kind of has this animation. It's very rubbery and everybody kind of moves like this, like Tiny Toon Adventures kind of thing. And like, that's legit hard for me to watch. I'm like, I don't like looking at this. I think it was the first one with the Riddler, and then I think the second one with like the some sort of ninja assassin or something like that, where they're fighting on the volcano and stuff like that. The animation was not very good.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 100 bits. Idea for your next commercial special, the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves action figures and cereal. Your review last week got me reminiscing about those commercials. Also, what are your top 3 favorite Robin Hoods?
I mean, I do gotta put the Disney one on there. Hold on, I'm just putting down so I don't forget toys and cereal, because I kind of remember those back in the day, but I can't remember I can't remember anything crazy about them, but maybe they are crazy. My favorite Robin Hoods. Honestly, it's kind of the generic one. I like the Disney one. I like the Errol Flynn one. I haven't seen Prince of Thieves since it came out. I remember not liking it, but maybe my opinion, and a lot of it's just because Costner is so boring. But but I remember the movie itself was kind of a little odd and crazy, so maybe I like it more now. Um, Actually, okay, just for the craziness of it, maybe I will put Prince of Thieves on there.
Ramirez says, favorite movie with Jim Carrey. Mine is The Mask. Also, hi, Chaplin.
Um, I okay. He's getting bigger, man. He's turning into I don't know if you can see, but he's turning into a little magic 8-ball popple here. He's just getting
Aw.
bigger and bigger. Yeah, there's a lot of just kidding.
Chaplin, don't let your dad fat shame you, okay? You're beautiful.
It's like, what's a fat? Okay. A favorite Jim Carrey movie? Man, maybe Eternal Sunshine. It might be it, but I do really, I don't know. The Truman Show, watching it again, I always liked it, but it grew on me even more when I reviewed it. But I don't know. I think Eternal Sunshine is just the right amount of weird for me, so that's probably the one for me.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you say is the funniest scene in The Man with Two Brains? The give me a sign scene got a huge laugh out of me.
I think the opening and closing, when he is talking to the kid and he's telling her what to say, I think to like or what he wants her to do after this person got hit with a car. Again, I won't give it away. And then literally the last line, the last written line, literally written on the screen before it goes to the credits, just killed me. It used to be on Max and they took it off. I was gonna show it to my brother and they took it off. I'm like, I just discovered this movie and it's amazing. So yeah, maybe I gotta get that on Blu-ray or something.
Cartoon Dictator says 2 questions. 1, have you seen Kiff? And 2, what is your favorite Gravity Falls character?
Favorite Gravity Falls? Probably Grunkle Stan. Yeah, he really makes me laugh. And Kiff, Kiff?
Yep, Kiff.
Okay. I think I did see like an episode of this. Yeah, it's fine. It's not my thing, but like it's totally fine.
TDI Charlie Brown, thank you for the 100 bits. If you ever get the chance to come back to Syracuse, be sure to announce it. I've got a Disney show I want to give you to review for Disneycember called The Weekenders. It's a true hidden gem for Disney.
Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can kind of look into more cons next year. I've been really bad and falling behind on that. So next year, hopefully I can get more back on track with that. So I'll try to get New York in there.
Oliver Dreamwalker says, Doug, in case you really like the live action One Piece after watch, I really recommend you read the manga, because you can go at your own pace, but you can watch anime if you have the time and courage. By the way, who was your favorite character so far?
No, I think the main kid. I don't think the show would work if he wasn't so likable, because all the other characters are fine, but if he wasn't there, like, he really is the glue. He is everything that literally reaches across and pulls everything together.
Lord R. Wolfen says, game request for Doug, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, because the game has one of Doug's least favorite cliches, and I just want to see his reaction.
I mean, there's a lot of least favorite cliches I have. Maybe a liar reveal? That one I really don't like.
Power Gamer says, so I finally saw all 3 Kung Fu Panda movies. Fantastic trilogy. But there's one thing that confuses me. The 3 villains are a snow leopard, a peacock, and an ox. How is the peacock the most terrifying one?
Right? And I love that. I love when like the most unassuming choice is like the scariest one.
Master Mario says, I know you don't have any kids, but if you did, what would you name any daughters or sons? You too, Heather. I like Lily, Amber, and Maddie. I also like Thomas, Ben, and Samuel.
Don't listen to them, my child. You are my son, and you know it. Yes, my kids lick my nose. That's right. I don't know. I guess I like. My dad had a thing where when we were named, he'd always have our middle name be the same as the same initial as our first name. So, like Rob's begins with an R and mine begins with a D. I guess I always liked just the letter D in general. I got a lot in school, but it's also what my name starts with. So I don't know, something beginning with a D. Something, like Dan, like a Daniel Walker probably sounds good. And then like if it's a girl, maybe a Danielle Walker. Sorry, I guess that's pretty boring.
Yeah. I always like the name Rose for a girl.
That's good.
Yeah, Rose. But also when I was in high school, I was convinced that I would name my son Christian. And God, I'm glad I changed my mind on that, because that feels like a little stuck up, like Christian.
It definitely sounds like a main character name book, and then Christian walked in.
KP Crook, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think fad of Vikings in media is still strong or fading? With the popularity of the Vikings History Channel show and latest games set in the Viking, I'm curious if it's getting old. What do you think will be the next historical period media will gravitate towards once Vikings have overstayed their welcome?
Okay, they said it was the fad of Vikings, right?
Yes.
Is that what they said?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I thought I just heard, are fat Vikings still going to be a thing? I'm like, are they a thing now? What is that?
No, fad. Like the fad of the
fad
Viking era.
I mean, I don't know. I'll say this: I like that certain moments and I was gonna say characters, but that's not it. Certain moments and groups in history, it kind of do go through fads. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe Oppenheimer was a big hit. Maybe people that do that, sort of like physicists and stuff like that, put stuff together. I don't know. I always feel like kind of like inventors are always going to be a big thing. People like to hear the story of how did somebody invent this thing that I know what it is and change the world and stuff like that. What were the struggles and everything? So whatever the next big thing is, I feel like that's always going to be something in there. That's never going to die out. People are always going to like the person that invented blank.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Final Jim Carrey question. Why do you think comedic actors like him are never taken that seriously at the Academy Awards? He was fantastic in Eternal Sunshine, but I don't think he even got a nomination for his performance in that.
No, he never got a nomination for anything. It could be a lot of reasons. Maybe Steven Spielberg, I mean, God, that's like Mr. Movie. I mean, he's like the ultimate Hollywood. He's done like every type of movie and stuff like that. It took years for, the Oscars to, sort of give him anything. And now he's like kind of associated with like Oscars. It's like, well, yeah, of course. Shameless List, Oscar award winning, Spielberg and stuff like that. But at the time, like he couldn't get his. Scorsese was another one. He could just never get, an Oscar and stuff like that. DiCaprio was it's weird. All these people that you kind of associate with being Oscar darlings, almost like they always present and stuff like that, don't always get Oscars, which is kind of funny.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. What is an old movie genre you would like to see make a comeback? Like how Pirates of the Caribbean brought back the swashbuckler genre.
I was always a big fan of film noir. But I like the idea of film noir like with a new kind of spin on it, like a Blade Runner or Sin City or something like that. Because I love the idea. What can you do with sort of like these cool angles, these cool shots and shadows and everything with like modern technology? And still my favorite. That's why Sin City is just like one of my favorite. Like I just love going back to that. That's another movie I could go back and just watch a million times and enjoy it because just the style of it and the look. I mean, it's like literally just harsh black and white. I mean, the shadows just like, black out everything. It just looks so cool.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. If you haven't seen the Steve Martin film, All of Me, Doug, I highly recommend it. It's the same director as The Jerk and Man with Two Brains and features some of Steve Martin's best physical comic timing.
I gotta see it. That's always why I've seen clips of it. I know what it's about. And I don't know why I haven't checked that one out. I don't know. I'll write it down. I'll check it out.
The Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Universal monster?
Probably Frankenstein. The Frankenstein monster, I should say. It's funny because in terms of like the movie, in terms of like, ooh, which one do I kind of like being in this world and stuff like that, and even the creature just in general is probably the Wolfman. I like all the fog in that story. And then I love the idea of a werewolf. It's really cool. But I always thought the makeup on the Wolfman, just that's not what a Wolfman's supposed to look like. A wolf that just looks like a really hairy guy, kind of thing. But in terms of like when I think of like a tragic gothic monster movie, it's like I always think of the Frankenstein monster.
Dino Man says some honorable mentions and top twos of other members for Ayana, Shitballs and Harley Quinn, for Jim, Joker and Deadpool, for Barney Walker, the creator from the X-Men review, and the daddy from Fox Kids. Other mentions, the Meninists, the Cats, the Chart Partners, and the Pennywise Partners.
Yeah, that was it was so funny when we did the It review, the theatrical film one, and Malcolm was playing Moss from IT Crowd. It was so because it was the only time where I say, okay, do a run through of the line. He would do the voice perfectly, and then as soon as I say action, he would lose the voice. So I think what I finally had to do is that I had to start recording and I say, okay, give me a version of the line. And that was usually the take I would do, like the rehearsal take. Because like for whatever reason, like he just, whenever he knew he was recording, like he lost the voice and like that never happens with him. So that was always so strange. So yeah, after a while, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to tell myself do this. And now I'm like, all right, so when you do this line now, it's like, say it this way. Go ahead, try it. Try saying it that way, during the rehearsal. That was always the take I would use.
Spooky Elephant says, what are Chaplin and Buster's favorite stereotypical cat activities? Sitting in boxes, watching birds, chasing lasers?
Buster will always hop behind the TV if I don't get out his toys in the morning. He always associates the morning. And what's so funny is that he doesn't even play with them much anymore. I'll just get them out and I'll sort of wave the stuff around. He'll just look at it while I'm looking at the TV, and I'm just like, who's entertaining who here right now? Because he won't go after it. He'll just watch it while I'm watching the TV like this. It's just like, who's the animal here?
Dino Man says, favorite opening to a movie? Maybe because it's so batshit, The Suicide Squad. Never thought I'd see Pete Davidson's face get shot off.
Oh, yeah, that is a pretty funny opening. Man, again, now the more I think about it, maybe Across the Spider-Verse. I just remember watching that film, and as soon as the title hit, I'm just like, we haven't even had the credits yet? What the fuck? Like, that was already like its own mini movie. It just happened. That wasn't even, the opening credits. I don't know. I'd have to think long and hard about like, I don't know my absolute favorite be. Molly's Game has a really great opening. Like Raiders of the Lost Ark has a great opening. Batman just for the music has a great opening. Yeah, there's some good ones for you.
Dino Man says, so if you just gamed a random game without streaming, what song would you play to get you amped up? For me, it's What's Up Danger from Spider-Verse, Danger Zone, and the epic version of He's a Pirate.
I always like... I guess we're going with cliches. I do like listening to Eye of the Tiger. No, I'll say this. Eye of the Tiger with the Rocky 3 intro. I have to have that editing of Mr. T watching Rocky and training. And so, I mean, okay, we're talking about best intros of all time. Rocky 3 is one of the best intros ever. I just watched that a million times. It's all visual storytelling, and I love seeing these two. Like I said, I mean, you could almost just cut to the final fight just after that intro and you'd be caught up, the rivalry.
Right. J-Star Otaku says, have you seen Netflix One Piece yet? Thoughts?
Yes. This is good. Begin with that question and end on that question. Absolutely love it. I love the world. I love the main character. I love the side characters. I love how crazy and weird it is. I love it soaks in the strange world that it has. And I don't know. I really feel like it looked at the Cowboy Bebop remake and said, okay, that didn't work. What can we do to avoid that? Because I feel like there's a lot of similar beats in there. It kind of has a similar color palette and cinematography and stuff like that. But they were just like, all right, but we got to edit it this way. They have to act this way. When we do the action, it has to be a little tighter. Like they really made it work a lot better. Like the love for the material is translated much better than in Cowboy Bebop, which you can tell had a lot of love for the material. I just don't think they knew how to get it across.
Okay, great. And that brings us to 8 o'clock. Thank you all so much for joining us as usual. We super appreciate you being here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out if Tamra is streaming right now or not. Because normally we go raid Tamra, and I'm trying to see if she is live or if we should or should not see if Tamra's live. Does anyone know? I'm trying to see if Tamra is live. Doug, oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening right now, but I hate it. I don't know what's happening, but I hate it. Okay, let me just remind people, because I see people are still a little confused. Highlighting a question does not guarantee that we are going to see it or read it. I'm sorry, we end at 8 o'clock. I know, I'm sorry. It's just what happens. We try our best to get to every question, but you know, we have to have a certain way to prioritize things. So I'm sorry. That's the way it is sometimes. All right, well, apparently Tamara is having internet problems, so we're not gonna stress her out by rating her when she's not even live, because that would probably be very stressful. So, thank you all so much. Wow, I really enthusiastically said that. Thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate you as usual. We have content here 5 days a week, including tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday as well. So come back and join us. We will see you later. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.